This is the Sattler Files.
Devrite Homes, when you're looking for attention to detail and a uniquely designed home to suit all your needs. At Devrite Homes, we only build a limited number of homes per year, so we can truly focus on what you want out of a prestige home builder. We've continually won awards for excellence, with a record number of wins last year and the proud winner of the Australian Townhouse Villa of the Year. While we love building homes to suit each client, we pride ourselves on designing homes that take into account the special safety needs of some of our clients. If you have a dream, we can make it come true. Talk to Jay Mangano and find out more about Devrite Homes at www.devrite.com.au.
This is the Sattler Files.
Welcome back to the Sattler Files. My name is Murray Korf, and with me in the studio is Jay Mangano. G'day, Jay.
Hi, how are you today, Murray?
Good, thank you. Now, I saw you on television over the weekend in the on Channel 9?
Channel 7.
Channel 7. With the HIA program that they do, and fantastic, and talking about the awards that you won and all of that over at Hamilton Island.
Yeah, they come into our office and did a little segment.
Fantastic.
And one of the houses that they were going through when John Javalis was talking, that was our house they were showing as well.
Yes.
And so no one else would know that, but we do.
Yes. No, it was very good. Excellent job, and of course everybody knows the award that you won over on Hamilton Island a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah, look, it was great to see you on TV, and I think you did it very well.
Oh,
so,
thank you.
Well
done.
You.
Yeah.
Now, we talked just before we came on air. We're going to talk a little bit about service today. Now, I know in some respects people would think, well, maybe service doesn't relate to builders, but it does, really, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. Customer service is our be-all and end-all.
Absolutely.
But we get back to our clients. So if a client sends us an email, we will answer them. If they ring us, we will answer it. If we don't answer the phone straight away, we can't, we're in a meeting or something, we'd call it back. It shows up as a missed call. I mean, you know that they've rung, so you ring them back.
That's right.
It's not that hard.
No. And yet so many people and so many companies in particular don't do it, do they?
I don't know why they don't do it.
Neither do I.
You think they're your customers. You need to look after them.
Of course you do.
And with word of mouth, you will get...
See, the way I look at it, Jay, is that your phone call and the person who answers the phone, that's the first impression that people get of your company, isn't it?
It is, yes.
In fact, there's one radio group in Australia at the moment that calls their receptionist the first impressions officer. True story.
True story.
Sounds ridiculous, but it is what it is, and it's quite true. So it's so important that first impression is given by not only the way it's answered, but then the way that the call is handled after that, whether you call people back or send them information or whatever.
Yeah, our first impression officer is pretty good, let me tell you. She's very bubbly and
that's what you need.
Yeah, very helpful, and people are always commenting on our first impressions officer. she gets things that other people probably don't get because she is that way, that people just warm to her. And so it makes so much difference, your first impression officer.
It does indeed, and it sort of... the way they speak and the way that they handle your call and that, it really does brand your company.
Yes.
It can be a good impression or a bad one, and it's much better if it's a good one.
Yeah. So we just like to confuse them because her name's Gay and mine's Jay, so that just really confuses
Gay
people.
and Jay, goodness me. And so, look, and that's just the start of the service, isn't it? That's part of your business, and that first impression and the first interaction with your client, that's the first thing that you need to get right. Yeah,
you do. And we don't have a lot of bells and whistles in our office. We're very down to earth. There's no Rolls Royces out the front or any of those things. No. We just drive normal cars and all that. So we don't do that, but we just try to be genuine the whole time. Honest and tell it how it is. You can't say yes to everything.
No, of course
because that's not good customer service either, because if you can't follow through on your yes, then you shouldn't have said it in the first place.
Quite
because
right.
That's undermining your service.
Well, of course, the thing is, in not saying yes, as long as you explain why, and people will get it, then they're not unreasonable by and large. There are some, we've all met them, who are, but by and large, if you explain why you can't do something or agree to something, well then you're in pretty good shape. But then the service extends right through the building process for you, doesn't it?
It does. Well, I'm with our clients the whole way through, so I start with them and I finish with them. We go right through, even to the maintenance period.
Is that right?
Yeah. And
so are you kind of the one point of contact? If somebody was building a home with Devrite Homes, you would be the first point of go-to person, if you like, to see how things are going and if you've got any queries? They
can come to me, or they can go to Ron. If it's in a site thing, they can go to Ron. He answers his phone all the time as well, unless he leaves it in the glove box of my car or something silly, but most of the time he answers it. And Ron does all the site questions, I do all the office questions, but they could contact Mark or Gay in the office, and they know exactly where everything is and what's happening on site. So because we're small, everyone knows what's happening. So if it was unusual and Ron or I weren't available, then Mark or Gay could answer the question anyhow most of the time. So...
And you wouldn't get transferred through endless departments and
no,
like we've all experienced with our lovely telcos and banks.
Oh yeah, government departments
and government departments. I've temporarily forgotten that, but that's it. And they don't keep you on, and you won't be kept on hold for a couple of hours like you do if you're contacting Centrelink or any of those sorts of government departments.
No, definitely not. We just talk. But why it takes so long to answer the question? Usually if you just answer the question, it takes you 2 minutes, 3 minutes to answer the question, and you're on with your day and everyone else is on with their day. If you got to ring back and make it hard, it just takes up your time. So why do you want to take up your time? I don't.
When you're a monopoly like the big four banks or any government department that you're dealing with, they don't have to provide the service, do they? I mean, the point is that they can delay you as much as you like because there's nowhere else for you to go.
No, that's right. They can't. They should be treating us like customers instead of like an inconvenience.
They should.
And their lives would be so much easier if they did, because they have one phone call, they tell the answer or deal with the problem and then get on with it, instead of having 20 phone calls to deal with the one problem.
And we've all been there and done that, haven't we, Jay?
Yeah.
But of course, your company, as being small, you're able to do that, provide that service, and obviously Devrite Homes has a culture within it that says the customer is very important to us and we will do everything we can to make sure that they're satisfied in their queries.
We do. And we tell them what they... Sometimes we've got to tell them what they don't want to hear, but...
But I mean, that's the reality, isn't it? You've got to do that.
Yeah. We just recently, we've just put garage doors on a house, and the owner wants to put the garage doors down, and we go, no, don't put the garage doors down, because kids walk past. It's a building site. We pick up sand and throw it at the door because we can. If it's a building site, why is the garage door down? There must be something in there. So don't shut the garage door. It's going to cause a problem. It will get damaged because it's a building site.
Yes.
And people do not treat it the same as they do if it's a house and someone's living there. And sure enough, we're a week into it and the door's damaged, and you think, hang on, we told you this was going to happen.
Listen to the voice of experience. I'll throw a rock at it just to hear what sort of a sound it makes.
Apparently it was a drunk walking past looking to get out of the rain and thought, I'll go in there, and tried to lift the garage door up. And
a drunk.
Yeah, well, yesterday. I don't know where he was going, honestly. And you think, you just know it's going to happen because it's a building site.
Yeah. people should actually listen to the people that have been there and done that and are the experts in the field.
Yeah,
yeah. So who pays for that?
Well, we told him not to put it down, so
maybe he has to open his wallet. Do you think?
Yeah. It's just a dent. I mean, it's not
catastrophic.
No, it's not catastrophic. But I mean, it's a brand new house. You don't want
to start off with a dent in your garage door.
People think it's covered by insurance, but it's not, because we have a $5,000 excess. So there's no way it's ever going to be covered by insurance. So.
No, indeed not. Yeah. And look, the reality is that you should submit to those that know what's going on rather than try and do it yourself.
Yeah,
you know? And particularly when you've been forewarned and it's happened to you before. I mean, why do people feel the need to reinvent the wheel?
That's right, and there's no reason to put it down unless you're storing stuff in there. No. And then why would you store stuff in there? Because you're letting people know that you're storing stuff in there.
That's right.
So it's just not a good thing to do.
Quite a study in human nature, isn't it? But at the end of the day, that is still all part of the service. Any advice that you get, I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? It's not just answering the question, but it's also giving advice about things.
Yeah, but we had a client query us the other day about painting, because we come in and painted the house, and then the tilers come in, and he goes, "Why would you paint the house before the tilers come in?" And you go, well, because it's clean and it's tidy and there's no damage anywhere. Yeah. So they know that it's clean, it's tidy, and there's no damage anywhere. So they know that they have to keep it clean and tidy and no damage anywhere.
Yeah.
If it's not clean and tidy and all painted, that doesn't matter to them. If they scratch the wall or they dent a door frame, doesn't matter to them. So it's all to do with how you present your site to make sure it's treated the way it should be treated.
And things are done in a sequence for a reason, aren't they?
They are, very much so.
It might look like it doesn't, but it is. It's there for a reason. And so that things happen in sequence and nobody does damage to things as they're on their way through.
No one will ever admit to doing damage.
Of course they won't. It was the other bloke.
Yeah, of course it was.
The guy with the ginger hair.
Yeah. Yeah, and you think, okay, you've been the only one here, but hey.
But, it's all, once again, that sort of thing, and making sure that the product is looking good when it's finished and that sort of thing. It's all part of service, isn't it? It's the whole process is all part of servicing the client, making sure they're happy and giving them a product at the end that they are really, really happy with.
Yeah, clients have to do their homework as well. We had a client that's wanted these black pavers put down, and just by coincidence, I mean, we've never put these black pavers down before. They're new to the market, and just by coincidence, we're talking to a guy that was doing some capping on a pool, and somehow these pavers come up, and he goes, "Oh yeah, those ones, they're having all sorts of trouble with those." And you go, "Really? What kind of trouble?" Says, "Oh, they get too hot and they spread and you think, okay. Yeah. So that kind of information, we've got to feed it back to our clients, because we take on, if we laid something and it went wrong, we'd take it on as we should have known better.
Yeah.
So we don't want to be in that position, so we have to tell them. These pavers maybe not so good.
That's right. And do they generally take that at face value, or do they...
Some will take it at face value. It's very hard when people have set their mind to something and they've really fallen in love with something, and then you go, "Hey, look, I just heard this," and they'll go, "Oh," but if in their own interest they need to.
Yeah, of course they do, and you're the expert in the field. You're the one that has the knowledge about all these products, and even if you've started on something, you really it's really incumbent on you as part of the service to say to somebody, these aren't really that flash. We'll put them in if you like, but really,
but this is the problems we're hearing are happening out there.
We're uncertain about it. Yes.
Yeah. And a lot of people that do these jobs all day, every day, don't know their products, don't know they're just salespeople that are told to push a barrow. They don't actually know what they're doing. You have balustrade people come and they don't even know the Australian standards they work under, and you think, well, what's the chances of getting it right if you don't know what standards you're working under? And
that's right. Yeah.
So but there's all these questions that you need to think about.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, Devrite Homes actually have all the answers to those questions.
Well, if we don't have all the answers, we can find them or research. It's just a matter of coming up with just doing research constantly. There's new products hitting the market all the time. You're best not to use new products for a while. Wait until other people have those problems, and then
I think so. Find out how they're going. It's not always a good thing to stick your neck out and be the first on the block to have it.
No.
Whatever it is, whether it's hot water systems or light switches. I mean, really, they can all come with problems, and you're better off letting somebody else trip up on those. Yeah,
there was some blocks they were building out of years ago that was a big problem, and they had hundreds of houses around Perth done in them. And
Really?
Yeah.
Is that right?
It was a BGC product, and that Len Buckridge had introduced, and and then he bought them all back. So that
did
was,
he? Yeah.
So.
Fair enough too. But once again, you really don't want to be the testing ground for new products, particularly when you're building premium homes, as Devrite Homes do.
Yeah, no,
because that does damage to your reputation too, doesn't it?
It does. Even like the damage to the door. It's just something you don't want to happen because it's our finished product, and you just wish it wasn't there.
Yeah. And it would absolutely annoy you, wouldn't it? Every time you saw it.
Yeah.
You would want to get your little ball peen hammer and tap it out.
Yeah.
But you can't do it.
No, you can't. And once something's damaged, it's damaged most of the time. But
yeah.
Or at cost.
And of course, it extends to all sorts of other things too, doesn't it? It extends to paint finishes, and it extends to, and we've talked about this before, the things like cupboards and stuff that really rely on them being good quality to fit in with the home that you're building. Yeah,
everything's got to be done to a high standard. So the painters come in, we've got to take the door furniture off, don't paint around it, and all those things that just need to be done.
And it's really so important that because that's standard, isn't it? That's the thing that people look for. That's the thing that sets you apart from other organisations that do homes.
Yeah, it is, and it's constant. We have to constantly be telling the tradies, this is how it's got to be done, this is how it's got to be done, this is how it's got to be done, and keep reinforcing it all the time, because you can't let your standards down.
No, you can't, and it's once again, it falls back to you don't sign a contract to build a home and then just say, well, that's that done. You're on it all the time, and that's part of the service that's provided by your company, isn't it?
It is. We are with our clients all the way.
Yeah.
Even things that we're not supplying, we'll still give them our opinion. They can take it or leave it, but we still give it, make sure, because we're proud of what we give out. So we don't want them to go and get somebody to do something that we're not doing in the house, and then it becomes a bad experience because someone else has messed it up. So we try to even steer those, the things that we're not doing.
But of course, of importance, and once again, part of the service is to make sure we just don't let subcontractors loose, do you? They have to be held to account. They have to be told what to do. They have to be monitored the whole time, don't they?
Yeah, you have to tell them the outcome you want and how it's going to look and all those things, so that and that's where people fall down when they get jobs done themselves. They assume that the tradesman knows how to do it properly, but you actually need to tell them what you expect for them to work to your standards. So if you're getting any jobs done around the house, tell them what you expect. Don't just assume that they know how to do it your way.
Jay, a lot of trades are used in building a house, electricians, plumbers, floor tilers, concreters, the whole range, really.
Yeah.
Who are the easiest to deal with, in your view? Or aren't any of them easy to deal with?
Well, we've had a lot of our trades for forever, so so a lot of our trades are really good. Our electrician's been with us since day one, so he knows how we do everything. Our plumber's been with us for years. Our grano worker has been with us for years, albeit it's the son that was the father, and now it's the son.
But nonetheless, he's doing the same thing.
The son's been there all along, so that's fine.
So, and that's the key, isn't it? Having people that know exactly what's expected of them and how what you will accept as a finish or a standard or whatever.
Yeah, and so we do things different to other people as well. So we got little things that little
processes and tricks and what have you, which is why it's Devrite Homes of Distinction.
There's round corners on plaster. We round our corners on the plaster.
Do you?
And some of them, like them square.
Yeah,
but they deteriorate so much faster.
Indeed, they do.
If they're square, someone drags a corner around, someone chips it. You think so? If it's round, it stays good for a lot longer than if it's square.
Yeah.
So, but the tradies really fight against it because everyone wants square, and we go, no, but we don't want square.
We don't want square.
And but it's about the house looking good for a lot longer.
Yes.
And just not needing that repairs and maintenance.
Yeah. So. And how is the market these days? We've just had a drop in interest rates, but I guess that sort of thing doesn't really impact your company to the way perhaps a project builder would.
No, we're still subject to a very fickle market.
Sure you are.
And not much is happening now, but I would say that's to do with the election. And once the election's over,
wonderful election.
It
can't wait.
Yeah, people just put things on hold. When there's uncertainty around, they just don't like uncertainty.
No.
So there's not much happening at the moment.
Yeah.
So
we haven't got long to wait. Hopefully now until things maybe start to move again after the election, but that'll take us into the new financial year, of course.
Yeah, it's the negative gearing is probably the biggest worry for the property market because if that happens, Labor gets in and they do get rid of negative gearing, I think it could be a disaster for everyone, not the big end of town.
No, well, I find that just incomprehensible. I mean, Keating brought it in back in the 80s, I think it was. He took out all negative gearing, and then about 2 or 3 years later they put it back because they just lost so much housing stock.
Yeah, if you listen to the arguments, and they've got all the answers about why that wasn't the case, and this was that, and this was this, and you think logic's just not there.
No, it's not.
I mean, if
learn from history.
If people can't have, if it's going to cost them to have a house, they're not going to have a house, so they're going to sell it, and then all these people, where are they going to live? There'll be no rental properties. Then they're back asking the government to.
Can you give us a house? Yeah, that's right.
And you think,
but you would think they would learn from history, wouldn't you? But they don't seem to do that. Why would the market react differently now than it did back in the 80s? I'm not sure that there's any evidence to suggest it would.
Well, why would it's the people. Why would some person decide that they're going to keep a house that's going to cost them money? You go down to the country areas, those houses are never going to get any capital gain.
No.
So, as such.
No.
So the only reason they would be in them is for cash flow, and so just doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense. And look, so many people do benefit from it, and it's really about a longer term view of wealth creation, and also providing for your own retirement, providing for your own aged care and all that sort of stuff. It's not just negative gearing per se. It has a flow-on effect all the way through the whole economy.
Oh, I heard someone say saving for your retirement so you can keep your kids out of the market, and you think...
What?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm struggling with that logic, but there you go. But, and getting back to the service thing, your service doesn't stop when you hand over the keys, does it?
No, we have a maintenance period. We quite often go back and fix things in houses that are nothing to do with us. If we can fix it, we usually do.
Yeah.
We had someone come back 9 years after the event and asked us to fix something that we didn't do.
Goodness me, that was a bridge too far, wouldn't it be?
Yeah, but our reputation is worth a lot, so we said, okay, Leno, you buy the tiles and we'll do it. We didn't tile it in the first place, but hey, and we'll get our guy to come and do it. And they said that wasn't quite good enough.
Really?
And we said, well, we're doing this for our reputation, so we really don't have to do this. So if you think we're not doing good enough, then maybe you need to take it elsewhere.
What outstanding! 9 years later, and you're still prepared to put a tiler in there to do the work. That's
to repair tiles that we never did in the first place.
Yeah, that really is going that extra mile to safeguard your reputation and your and all of that.
And we would have done it, but they thought we were doing it. We weren't doing it enough for them. So then we thought, well, it's not going to do our reputation any good to do it if they don't even realise what we're doing is over and above what anyone else would have done.
That's right. So you want people to talk about you for all the right reasons, don't you?
So I think, well, you need to know, you need to go and find out that then what we're doing is way above what anyone else would do for you. So you need to go and find that out.
That's right. No, quite true. Jay, it's we've strayed a little bit around all sorts of issues today, but service was the one. And look, I think everybody would have a story, wouldn't they, about lack of service and good service, both ways.
Yeah, good service is getting harder and harder to find.
My word. And as I said to you off air, perhaps we could buy it by the kilo. That'd be a nice thing to be able to do, wouldn't it?
It would be wonderful if we could buy it.
Indeed.
It doesn't matter how much money you spend, you don't necessarily get good service.
You don't. That's a very good point, actually, isn't it?
No.
Just because you pay more doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get the service that you expect for that payment.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
But you do with Devrite Homes of Distinction.
You do with Devrite, yes.
Absolutely. Jay, thanks so much for coming in and chatting with us today. It's been fantastic, and we look forward to catching up with you again very shortly.
Right. Thank you very much, Murray.
More on the Sattler Files in a moment.
This is the Sattler.
Devrite Homes, when you're looking for attention to detail and a uniquely designed home to suit all your needs. At Devrite Homes, we only build a limited number of homes per year, so we can truly focus on what you want out of a prestige home builder. We've continually won awards for excellence, with a record number of wins last year and the proud winner of the Australian Townhouse Villa of the Year. While we love building homes to suit each client, we pride ourselves on designing homes that take into account the special safety needs of some of our clients. If you have a dream, we can make it come true. Talk to Jay Mangano and find out more about Devrite Homes at www.devrite.com.au.
This is the Sattler 5.